That's okay, I'll,
We're rolling?
yeah.
Call to order the Borough of Crafton regular meeting, December 22nd, 2014. Call to order, flag salute, Mr. O'Brien.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amador?
Wait, yes, here.
Ms. Amador? Here. Mr. Crown is absent. Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Phillips is absent. Ms. Whitesell is absent. Mr. Hayes?
Here.
Mayor Bloom is not present. Engineer?
Here.
Manager Tran?
Here.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the bill list dated December 22nd, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the bill list? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes dated November 24th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll assume there's no citizen comments signed up, so we can move to the receipt of the written reports. I'll entertain a motion for receipt of the written reports, including the treasurer's reports, the financial report, Act 511, and the trash collection report, property tax collection report, police report, manager's report, ordinance officer's report, building inspection report, public works report, the REMS report, and the engineer's report.
So moved.
Second.
I'll ask the engineer to highlight anything on the engineer's report he'd like to mention.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it quick. Essentially, most of these items are just talking about wrapping up projects for the year, pay applications, processing them, that kind of thing. The only thing that we have that's really outstanding is the demo program. We still have not got word from Char West that we're okay to award the project. I expect that anytime, but that's pretty much the only construction project we still have going on.
Next, then a long list go to look better, so it might be long. I don't know where we are on the list.
Do we anticipate it to be done this winter season, or no, much later than that? Okay.
I would suspect.
Any other questions for the engineer? Okay, Manager Tran, anything you want to mention in your report?
Yeah, if you noticed, I did cross out a lot of items as we wrap up the year. Several items have been complete. For next year, I'll start a new project worksheet or list and carry over any items that aren't closed out. So if you have any questions on any of the struck out stuff, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Otherwise, I'm going to leave them behind in the 2014 report and start a new 2015 report that I'll start distributing.
Is your report somewhere else?
No, I didn't get a report.
Email to you.
Yeah, I don't have either.
Oh, no. Email to you Thursday. Well, I'll put it on a copy
I can check.
tonight. Yeah, check tonight. Sorry.
Okay.
When I was in the office the other afternoon.
You know, and I wasn't here.
No, you were. I said, hey, Mary, I'm emailing my report. You said, okay, I'll put it on copy. I said, okay. I'll upload it tonight. If you have any questions about any of the struck out items that are complete, let me know. We'll start a new fresh list in 2015.
Okay. Any questions for Manager Tran?
It's two conversations. He remembers clearly.
Yeah. Is there a theme developing? Okay. You once told me I don't have to have a motion to accept the report.
You don't. You really don't.
But since we
you
made
can if you
one-
want. Yeah, that's fine. You can do something with it. Yep.
All right. All in favor of accepting the reports?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Report's been accepted. Mayor's report, did he, sure he didn't leave anything with us since he's not in attendance? Okay. Then let's just go straight into the to the business agenda, if you will, into administration. I'll entertain a motion to accept the proposal for interim management and manager search services from John Trant of Strategic Solutions, effective January 1st, 2015.
So moved. Second.
All right, moved and seconded. I'd like to just start off by saying, give you some background here, since I didn't do it over the phone, as Manager Trant thought. Manager Trant notified me about a week ago that he was officially resigning from HRG. He was in contact with HRG and notified me also that HRG was interested in terminating the contract for interim borough manager services in light of the fact that he would not be the one fulfilling them. They had to give us a 30-day written notice. So John said that he was interested in continuing the effort solo, and if they would let him out of the non-compete clause, that this could be, a win-win. They could get out of the contract, he could take over the contract, effectively be seamless to us at the same terms and, level of service. So after the conversation he had with HRG, I assume that went well because we got a contract from him. But that's the background for it. John, feel free to jump in and say anything else you might like to about it.
Yeah, everything's the same, except that the HRG contract was to end on January 31st. I proposed in this contract that this would go through February because we probably, where we are schedule-wise with the interviews, we probably won't have a manager in the seat until early mid-February. So just to be safe, to provide some overlap, so the contract goes through the end of February and then provides for, at council's request, an hourly sort of assistance through the transition with the new manager starting. Other than that, all the terms, conditions, everything's the same.
And we were very likely to have to, for the same reasons, to extend the HRG on a month-to-month, just because we didn't get done what we wanted to get done in the 6 months since it started. So I don't think that's real material.
But they weren't willing to, they didn't want to continue.
No, no.
They did not, no, they
So
wanted
they
to
weren't going to
terminate.
send us someone else in the meantime.
Well, they would have had to. I mean, the contract dictated that they would have to, because John gave 2 weeks' notice. They had to give 30, right?
Yeah, I get 4 weeks' notice, but
Oh.
in terms of notice to you guys, well, it's still 4 weeks before the end of the year. But they had a 30-day window, right? So the contract had 30 days. So your concern was having a gap in coverage. So this is seamless. If council approves it tonight, there will be no gap in coverage. And HRG is able to get out of the contract early instead of end of February, the end of December, end of January, end of December.
Well, I'm glad that you are able to continue on solo.
Thanks.
I'm glad that they are not replacing someone else. And that we have the option to do that.
And my company's been in existence since 2009, so it's been around for a while, and I'm happy to provide the service, and we'll continue to provide the same level of service I've been providing.
Excellent.
Looking forward to working with you.
Any other questions on that? Concerns?
We have to look at Rob's stuff, over the next month or so and see that his contract will expire around the same time, I think.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
that is a good point. That was, they were more or less time-wise similar, right? They were parallel.
Yeah,
So we will have to look at that.
yeah,
Cool.
maybe the first of the year.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2014-25, authorizing submittal of an early intervention program grant to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development and a local match amount of 10% of the EIP portion of the comprehensive plan project.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. John, you want to give us some context
Sure.
on this?
So this is a joint resolution that was on copy in your agenda items, and it's a joint resolution between Crafton and Ingram, and it supports the grant application to the Department of Community and Economic Development's Early Intervention Program. This essentially would fund the financial component that we added to the overall joint comprehensive plan. So this joint resolution actually will carry a lot of weight in terms of showing support, that both communities support the project as a whole, including this financial component. We have been having a lot of discussions with various folks with the state and county, talking about the joint efforts and the opportunities for continued growth in joint services and cooperation and collaboration. So there is some momentum building. This resolution is specific to the EIP program. If council approves it tonight, what we'll do is we'll ship it to Ingram so that their council could also approve it. Both councils will be signatories on it. We'll ship it off with the grant application so that can move forward through the process. Dollar numbers wise, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so the total project for the financial component is $72,000, estimate of $72,000. The borough's contribution is a little over $7,000, so we're requesting a 90-10 situation where the local contribution is only 10% of the total project amount. Because we also have funding into the county, we're not sure how all these funding requests are going to shake out. We're proposing that the boroughs jointly commit to providing that local match, and we're going to sort out how that breaks down if and when we get grant awards from the various entities. So this resolution says, yes, the boroughs are committed to that local match. We'll iron out the details later.
So if it's 90-10, 72,000, we're 7, Ingram 7?
No, 7 total. Between the two communities, $7,269
Okay, so
is the
we're,
local match.
so we'll have half of that.
Whether it's 50-50, right, because then we also have the county grant that will have a local match component.
Okay.
So we want to figure out what the best way to slice and dice that.
Okay.
And that has to be in by December 31st, is that right?
Well, the goal was to get to us so that we could be done and then send it to Ingram in January so we can get in the queue for the next round of
I see.
grant applications.
So our part was December 31st.
Your part will be done, then we're going to send something to Ingram so they can get their stuff done at their meeting in January.
What is the early intervention program?
It's a program that, the name is a little misleading. It has a sense of urgency to it from a financial perspective. And what it does do is it helps municipalities do financial planning for a 5-year period. So we're requesting that this funding be used to allow, as part of the comprehensive plan, for us to do a detailed financial plan to make sure the operational and budgetary support is there to implement the recommendations of the comprehensive plan.
Okay, thank you.
They are also funding EIP funds, standalone financial management plans for communities that are in financial distress as well.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to Public Works, I'll entertain a motion to approve the SHACOG Administrative Services Agreement for the Joint Municipal O&M Preventative Maintenance Project Year 4.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Opposition. I'll entertain a motion to approve final payment to A. Moranti Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $5,260.65 for the Clearview Phase 3 project as recommended by Gateway Engineers.
$5,200.
What did I say?
65 cents. Okay.
Did
I
say
think
something?
you said $5,265.
Oh, let me restate. I'll entertain a motion to approve final payment to A. Moranti Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $5,200.65 for the Clearview Phase 3 project as recommended by Gateway Engineers.
So moved.
Second.
And this is the add-on piece, the fixing piece of the curb that they had to do?
No, this is the retainage.
This is
Yeah, I think it's
the
retainage.
original.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. The second part is probably that, right? All right.
Yeah,
Just
that's
kidding.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like to process our bills.
Okay. Okay, I was more interested in the second part, so we'll get to that in a second. Any discussion on this motion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Didn't hear you say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve final payment to A. Moranti Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $16,264.95 for the Harris Avenue project as recommended by Gateway Engineers.
So moved.
Second.
So this was the piece, right, where there was a mix-up with the curb. There was an correction made. Right, we negotiated with them to do a larger part of Paris, which resolved our citizens' problem with his icing.
Right.
And I happen to know he was very excited about it. We talked
Yes.
about it a lot at the house tour.
The water runoff.
The water runoff, yeah, he's anxiously looking forward to the first freeze because he doesn't expect any ice.
So after all this, you might have a proponent, so. after
Yeah,
all this
that'd be
time.
nice.
Good,
Yeah,
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 good.
a victory.
Well
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, assume there's no additional citizens' comments since there are no citizens here.
I'd just like to give a quick budget update since you had adopted the budget earlier this month, actually. Mary and Debbie are working hard to do some reorganization of the accounts, including creating the new capital fund account and basically implementing the budget. So I want to thank Mary for all her work with Debbie. I know there's a lot going on right now, and we're going to sort through that. And I think next year have an even better set of books to help report to you guys in terms of how the borough is spending its money.
I think we've come a long way in the last couple of months,
I think things are improving.
for sure.
Seems
Thank
like
you.
it. Thank you.
Fred, you want to talk about the Santa Day?
Well, it was a fine day. The fire department worked hard, and they assisted Santa Claus in giving out some candy and seeing all the, I was fortunate to be there and contributing a little to helping. And it certainly was a lot of fun, seeing all those happy faces and a lot of happy adult faces too, waving through windows and taking pictures. It was a fun day. The fire department really needs to be congratulated on another successful help for Santa Claus.
Was the turnout good?
Yeah, there were lots of kids out, yeah.
The weather was beautiful too. The sun was out.
Yeah. Okay. And Mary, you want to talk about the house tour?
The house tour was very successful. They had over 600 attendees, and they made close to $10,000. A real good turnout, and the homes were all beautiful.
And what does largely that money go to fund?
That is going towards the pool renovations. Excellent. They're pulled together.
Yeah, which we're making some progress there too, by the way. We've had some initial meetings, and actually I'm meeting next week with DCNR to move forward with getting that project in line in terms of the grant funding that we have available. As we suspected, working through trying to reshape the project to meet the available funding is probably going to be a challenge, but we have some initial strategies that we're going to try and work through, and I'll be reaching out to the committee early next year to get their feedback and come up with a plan to move forward so we can spend the money that we have.
So did you meet with Alex Detange?
We met with the original pool feasibility study
Okay.
consultant.
Okay, I got you.
And we met with Catherine Franklin. next
Okay.
week.
Okay, with Kathy, okay.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Was that the record keeping
It's certainly my record.
quickest?
I know that.
We started at 20 after.
15 minutes.